walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house.
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nah, game's not over. It's just getting started right here because it's Freestyle Friday. You know what we're going to do. We're going to freestyle all for the show. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed Chris Gardner, Kenitra Pulliams, and Andy Yanez yesterday with my guy, Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Love it when they step in and run the show. Again, great Throwback Thursday from yesterday. All right, a lot to talk about today. Kansas City had their big victory parade from their third Super Bowl championship in franchise history, second since 2019. And from all reports, the crowd was even bigger this year than it was in 2019. And let's just let you know right now, heading into this next season, Kansas City is the favorite to win it all again, as they should be. You know, and I'm throwing shade at those Buffalo Bills fans. I'm not talking about Bills Mafia now. They got their own thing going on. But Buffalo Bills fans and the experts who like to throw Buffalo in there as the team to beat. Nah, they ain't the team to beat. They ain't won nothing for anybody to beat them. So Kansas City heading in as the favorite. And again, it's hard for me to imagine Philadelphia not being, number two. Got to go with someone like Cincinnati. Number 3, again, folks want to stick Buffalo in there. I got San Francisco at number 4, and then you can go on down from there. But again, congratulations, Kansas City, and get the job done. Speaking of Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy interviewed yesterday with Washington for their vacant offensive coordinator position. First of all, that's a slap in the face to the NFL that you got a guy with that kind of resume interviewing for a lateral position with another team in a league where they swear that they're trying to increase diversity and, give minority head coaches a chance to shine in the league. It's just, I said it before, I'll say it again. It's embarrassing. The league needs to pull all that junk off the field and deal with these owners in their face. How about that? Stop putting stuff on the back of the helmets and sidelines and singing, lift every voice and sing and all that. Yeah, I get it. I'm grateful for something, but you're not going to just throw us trinkets and think that we're going to, be like, oh, thank you, Mr. NFL. Nah, it ain't going down like that. It's Black History Month. And Huey Newton said, fight back. So, Eric Bieniemy interviewing for the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator position. I'm not impressed. I hope he doesn't take that job. I hope he doesn't. I know Andy Reid is suggesting that if he goes to another team and he is solely the offensive coordinator, play caller, that might help his resume because he shares play calling with Andy Reid in Kansas City. He got 2 chips, been to 3 Super Bowls. how many other offensive coordinators have that kind of resume, especially the ones that got jobs in this last cycle? How many of them have that resume that they are part of 2 Super Bowl championships since 2019 and have been to 3 Super Bowls? That right there should be a no-brainer. But again, you can't tell billionaire white owners and non-black owners, how to handle their business. I understand that, and I get it. But don't act like you're making progress when you're not. At the end of the day, these owners are still going to do what they want to do, and apparently, what they don't want to do is hire Eric Bieniemy for whatever reason. So we'll see if he proves himself, if he gets an offensive coordinator position with another team. I hope Washington ain't it, though, because that organization, until Dan Snyder sells it and they get some different ownership in there with a different mentality, a different focus, a different level of maturity and decency, I don't want brothers like Eric Bieniemy to have that be their opportunity for them to try and shine. I mean, believe me, when you got a guy like Dan Snyder, the very first person he would throw under the bus would be somebody like an Eric Bieniemy. So anyway, I wish him well in everything that he has before him. All right, so NBA about to slide into its All-Star weekend. Of course, you've got the skills competition coming up. You've got the Rising Stars game coming up. You've got the three-point shootout coming up. And I'm going to tell you, that one is looking pretty interesting when you got guys like Dame Lillard. You got guys like Jason Tatum that are going to be a part of that field. That's going to be pretty interesting. And watch it be some no-name dude. I mean, how can you be in the NBA and have no name? But watch it be somebody else who you least expected to win it this year. NBA Slam Dunk competition, of course. We'll see how that plays out. Local guy, Kenyon Martin Jr. from the Rockets is going to be participating in that. Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., and I'm forgetting. Oh, Jalen Green are all going to be participating this weekend in some of the events. And then the All-Star game itself is going to be Sunday, 5:30 Central, live from Salt Lake City. Team LeBron versus Team Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we'll see how all that plays out. And then after the All-Star break, it's the home stretch. We'll see which teams are able to rise to the top and make it to the playoffs. So right now it's pretty bunched up on both sides. The East and the West. It's pretty bunched up between the top 6, which don't have to compete in the play-in round, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10 compete in the play-in round to get in, see who makes it into the playoffs. So it'll be home stretch after this All-Star break. All right, speaking of breaks, let me take my first one right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
Deuces and trays. Interesting. All right. Again, those are two of the other great shows that you can find right here on Roku TV. courtesy of the BS3 network. So listen, if you got a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. BS3 TV, click on that link and man, just enjoy all the great shows. And of course, if you don't have a Roku streaming device, you're not left out as well. Go to www.bs3network.com and you can get, again, all those great shows online. Changing the way you watch TV. All right, real quick, let me get to the NBA standings heading into the playoffs. Heading into the All-Star break. In the East, it's Boston by a half game over the Milwaukee Bucks. Boston, number 1, Milwaukee half game behind at number 2. The 76ers at number 3. Number 4 is Cleveland. I said they'd be in that mix. Number 5 is Brooklyn. As I said, Brooklyn has gotten rid of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now they got to just, try to keep their foot on the gas, get behind these younger players and see what they can do to stay in that top 6. At number 6, the New York Knicks. A lot of folks wrote them off. They didn't write back, though, in the words of Geno Smith. Number 7, you got the Miami Heat. Number 8, the Atlanta Hawks. Number 9, Washington. And number 10 are the Toronto Raptors. So again, 1 through 10 there, they would all be involved in some type of play-in or playoffs if it were to end today. It doesn't. All right. Number 1 in the West, the Denver Nuggets. Number 2, the Memphis Grizzlies. They're 5 games back, though. Denver surprising the heck out of everybody at 41-18. Number 3, a very surprising team. And I got to give credit to Mike Brown, man. Folks didn't think he could coach after he lost LeBron in Cleveland. But guess what? The dude has a team that most folks had given up for dead at number 3. That's the Sacramento Kings. Number 4, the LA Clippers. Number 5, the Phoenix Suns. Those 2 teams met last night with the Clippers coming out on top. Number 6, the Dallas Mavericks. Number 7, New Orleans. Number 8, Minnesota. Number 9, Golden State. Number 10, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Your LA Lakers are down there at number 13. So here's the interesting thing. Kevin Durant went to Phoenix. They're at number 5. Kyrie Irving went to Dallas. They're at number 6. I'm going to keep an eye on which one of them finish higher than the other and where they finish in the standings. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm not, hating or anything like that. I'm just going to keep an eye on it to see how it plays out. But that's what I'll be looking for as the second half of the NBA season plays out. All right. Had some shakeup last night in men's basketball. Number 3, Purdue took a loss last night to Maryland, and that was 68-54. So let me get the current rankings. You got Alabama still number 1, as they should be, 22-4. At number 2, you got University of Houston, 24-2. Number 3, Purdue. They're going to drop. They're going to drop after that loss to Maryland. Number 4, you got UCLA. They'll rise up. Kansas, I can't stand them. They're hanging in there at number 5. Number 6, UT. Let me go ahead and address that real quick. Chris Beard had all charges against him dropped in a domestic assault case. Had all charges against him dropped. The district attorney said that there would not be enough evidence to prosecute because the person who was assaulted has dropped her charges and no longer wants to proceed. So she's not responding. She's not helping. She's not trying to do what she can do to have him prosecuted. So now a lot of folks are saying, oh, now he should sue the university. No, he shouldn't. He need to leave that alone. Something did happen, whether it was what everybody thought it was, and it was in violation of a code of conduct in his contract. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. When you get arrested for domestic assault, and that's a bad reflection on the team. Whether the person decided to continue with the case or not is it just doesn't matter. Unfortunately, it cost him his job at his alma mater. It cost him his dream job. It cost him $5 million a season. He's not going to be out of work. Somebody's going to give him a shot now that the charges have been dropped. They can give him another chance. It just won't be at UT. And him trying to sue them is not going to go well for him, because what we did not hear in the trial that would have taken place if the young lady had continued to press charges would have to come out in discovery in a trial against the University of Texas. I don't think he wants that. I don't think his attorneys want that. I think they will try to, strong arm, and they'll try to make statements, try to settle. But no, it move on to the next spot. He did well at Texas Tech. He was doing well at UT. There'll be a number of schools that will come calling Chris Beard, and I wish him well. I don't like to get into people's personal stuff, but I just had to address that piece. A lot of folks are already saying he needs to sue the university. I'd leave that alone, go on to the next university, and be great. Number 7, you got Virginia. Number 8, Arizona. Number 9, Baylor. And number 10, you've got Tennessee. I got to give some love to the number 11 team. It's Marquette, led by Shaka Smart, who was the coach that Chris Beard replaced at UT. So Shaka Smart getting it done up there at Marquette. All right, so there you go. That's what we got there. Got to take another break. Going to be right back with more right after this on our Freestyle Friday, wrapping up a great week on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to show that attainability. I want to show the accessibility of this kind of lifestyle.
From social media to having conversations with friends and family, you always have to put on face and say face.
What brings a smile to my face is the one person that totally believes in me, and that's my beautiful wife, Jody.
I just had to stop because I didn't value myself. I didn't love myself. And it's like, I have to learn to love myself.
Changing the world one conversation at a time. This is Revelations. This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
All right, 2 more great shows right here on the ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3. All you got to do is download BS3 TV on your Roku streaming device, or go to bs3network.com. That's BS, the number 3, network.com, and you will be able to tap into Man Talk Monday. You'll be able to tap into some of the other great shows, including the lunch break. All right. So I don't normally talk golf, but it's Freestyle Friday. I can do what I want to do. And Tiger Woods back on the links in the Genesis Invitational. Currently, he is 2 under par, tied for 27th. The leaderboard consists of Max Homa. Max Homa is 7 under. And then, of course, you got Keith Mitchell at 7 under. So Tiger not out of the hunt. Tiger is not out of the hunt. Anytime Tiger plays, there are eyes on it that would not normally be on it. If the regular golf field was on it. So again, a lot of folks like, oh, Tiger's a has-been. Nah, yeah, he still draws eyes to the network. He still brings in money to the sport, and he's back out there. So no matter that it's not a major or anything like that, Tiger Woods brings attention to the sport. All right. So rolling through this today on Freestyle Friday, and want to get to a couple of issues out there. Be nice, AJ. It is Black History Month, and we want to keep our focus on Black history. Jackson, Mississippi. Let me just go there. Jackson, Mississippi. When Deion Sanders was there, Coach Deion Sanders was there, it electrified the city. It electrified the city. And for the majority of the people that were there, it unified the city. I'm not going to get into how he left or anything like that. All I'm saying is when Coach Deion Sanders was there, it electrified the city. It put the mayor on notice. It put city council on notice. It even put the governor on notice as they were trying to get money to build a new stadium, as they were trying to deal with the water issues. Again, you had a big fish that was as big, if not bigger, than the powers that be in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Coach Prime leaves, not talking about how he left, not talking about what he should have done, not talking about any of that. Coach Prime leaves. Got one of his assistants, now the head coach of the team. Still doing great recruiting, probably going to win the SWAC again because of just all the talent that they have. We'll see, if Coach can coach. But now the administrators, governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, mayor, city council, now they want to cover themselves going forward. They don't want another big name black man, black woman to come in and do what they did under Coach Prime. Call them out, put them on notice, highlight things that, force them to have to do the right thing. So these good Europeans decided that they were going to create a city in a city. They're going to set up their own separate, for lack of all word, government. They're going to set up their own court systems to govern only a part and sections of Jackson, Mississippi, which is 82% Black. So the minority white residents of Jackson and certain sections of Jackson where these people live will literally be governed by a separate court system appointed by the white attorney general, the all-white state Supreme Court. And they will have jurisdiction over that part where the majority of the 20%, less than 20% of the population lives, but they just happen to be all European. Huh? That's apartheid. That's the same thing that folks went nuts about South Africa when you had the minority group of white people running the majority group of black people, and now they're trying to create it on the United States in Jackson, Mississippi. That bill has passed, I believe, one of the chambers, and I think that if it passes the other chamber, then it gets signed because, the governor's not going to veto that. How in the heck in 2023 are we creating an apartheid state, an apartheid city, where 82% of the population will be left out of services and fair jurisdictions, and I'm sure the medical facilities in that area controlled by them will be better than what these black people are going to have. How in the world is that even kind of okay? Again, Coach Sanders there, and you're pushing the governor to release money so that the stadium can be built. You got national attention on the water issue and the poor black people that are not getting what they need in a city where it's still, it's still bad as hell. Folks like to talk about there not being any racism. Folks want to talk about, not teaching critical race theory. Folks want to talk about, I don't see color, I just see people. Well, if you don't see this, it don't matter what color you see, because you can't tell the difference between right and wrong. You can't tell the difference between good and bad. You can't tell the difference between, oh, hell no, and yeah, that sounds like a good idea. This is not a good idea. some folks have kind of said, well, hey, listen, let's kind of let them feel what Jim Crow felt like to us, where they have separate but equal. Y'all, they control the people who will control that. The mayor of Jackson doesn't have the same pull as the governor of Jackson, as the lieutenant governor, as the attorney general, as the Mississippi Supreme Court. It just doesn't have the same pull. I'm glad the brother's there, but he just don't have the same authority. So trust me when I say it's not going to be separate but equal. It'll be the reverse of what we think it would be. Jackson, Mississippi, you got to do better. Mississippi as a whole, you got to do better. And again, all these people, talking and, we the Republicans are going to do this. If you are a U.S. Congressperson, Senate or House, and you're not mad about this, like, oh no, this is too much, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. I don't give a damn about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't give a damn about Lauren Boebert, Kevin McCarthy. If they allow this to happen and don't allow the Justice Department to step in and stop this madness, you are the problem. Not part of it. You are the problem. So anyway, I hate to go out on a downer, but yeah, I had to get to that today. I am praying to the highest heavens that something divinely intervenes in that situation, because here's what I'm going to tell you. If Jackson gets away with it, other cities and other states will do it. So to my brothers and sisters, fight back. I ain't saying revolution, good old redneck boys. Oh, yeah, get the guns. Martha, get the AR-15. They're fighting back. I'm not saying that. I'm saying legislatively, legally, fight back. Fight back. All right, listen, I'm wrapping it up early. I want everybody to have a blessed and safe weekend. We'll be back Monday with Coach Johnny Cole's HBCU Stroll. Got some good news coming soon about him. It's happening. I just need to get the okay to make the announcement, but I got some great news coming down the pike for him. And keep us in prayer. We are trying to take the next step in the last hurdle, the movie production on the life of Dr. Sharifa Barksdale. In fact, I'll play that trailer before I go, because that's starting to heat back up. And more than anything, man, let's not be divided. Good God. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There's nothing you can do about it. So again, have a blessed weekend and meet us here Monday for more of The Lunch Break.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, we're here. It's Friday, February 17th, 2023. Number 1. A Georgia judge released 3 portions of a special grand jury report of the investigation surrounding the efforts by former President Donald Trump and his allies to overturn his 2020 election loss in the state of Georgia. The takeaways. Number 1, perjury. No specific names were given, but the grand jury believed they were lied to by one or more people who gave testimony. In addition, the grand jury recommended that the DA seek indictments. Secondly, in a vote taken by the grand jury, they reject the claim of fraud brought by the former president, Donald Trump, and his allies. Number 2, on this day in Black history, American political activist and co-founder of the Black Panther Party, Huey P. Newton, was born. In 1967, Newton was convicted of voluntary manslaughter in the death of a police officer. His imprisonment sparked protest and popular rallying cry, "Free Huey." His conviction was overturned in 1970 and he was released from prison. The Panthers officially disbanded in 1982, and Huey was later found shot dead during a drug dispute in 1989 in Oakland, California. Number 3. Millions of Americans mired in medical debt face difficult financial decisions every day. Pay the debt or pay for rent, utilities, and groceries. Some may even skip necessary health care for fear of sinking deeper into debt. To address the problem, an increasing number of municipal, county, and state governments are devising plans to spend federal coronavirus pandemic relief funds to eliminate residents' medical debt and ease those debt burdens. The City Council of the Boston suburb Somerville, Massachusetts, last month unanimously passed a resolution that could clear as much has $4.3 million in medical debt. Unlike credit card or loan debt, medical debt is not a choice, advocates have said. Number 4, about 200 New York Times contributors have signed an open letter calling out the Legacy newspaper for its coverage of transgender issues. In the letter, the contributors say they have serious concerns about editorial bias in the newspaper's reporting on transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people. Representatives from the advocacy organization GLAAD have hand-delivered hard copies of that letter to the newspaper. Number 5, when it comes to golf, the names Lee Elder, Calvin Peete, Charlie Sifford, and Tiger Woods. These are the names when it comes to African American pioneers in golf. But there's a new batch of trailblazers ready to take that baton. One is Roger Steele, the Chicago native who began playing golf at an early age, hosts the YouTube series Range Talk with Callaway Golf, which he profiles people like Steph Curry, John Rahm, and Larry Fitzgerald. Representing the ladies is Troy Mullins. With roots in track and field, the Los Angeles native and Cornell University grad became known as a long drive competitor. Discover more in the newest trailblazers in golf at the What You Need to Know newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Life is a series of choices. Choose to show yourself some love. Come here, you. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
When the man said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge, she's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I fall off that hurdle. I was devastated.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I said a vehicle took a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.